Good afternoon, everyone. And again, welcome to our 16th annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Art Competition. On behalf of the Deborah Heart Challenge and Art Competition Committee, I'd like to welcome everyone here. We're glad to see you. Please stand. Presenting our colors is the Pemberton Township High School Junior ROTC Guard. Singing our national anthem today is Anna Moyariani, a senior from Cherry Hill High School West.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ray clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Everyone can be seated. We thank Pemberton's Junior ROTC Color Guard, as well as we thank Anna for a great rendition of our national anthem this afternoon. I'm extremely pleased this afternoon to welcome a true legend in Philadelphia TV history to our event, and that is Pat Cherokee. Pat is currently co-host with Yuki Washington of Talk Philly, CBS 3's Emmy Award-winning news and lifestyle program, which airs weekdays at noon. Pat has been with CBS for over 30 years, beginning as the station's early morning anchor, news anchor, and growing the program from 30 minutes to a 2-hour staple in the market. Pat co-hosted the Evening Magazine and was the station's medical reporter for 5 years. Pat's work has earned her multiple Emmy Awards, including recognition for individual achievement in news writing. She also won the nationally prestigious Gabriel Award from Catholic Academy of Communications, a SIBA Award for recognizing excellence to Black audiences, and a Sarah Award from Women in Communication locally. In 2000, Pat was inducted into the Philadelphia Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame. Pat has used her celebrity of her broadcasting career to better the lives of others, committing her personal time to community activism and fundraising on issues involving women and children. In addition to all this, Pat has been a great supporter of Deborah Heart and Lung Center, having covered a story of an Iraqi child years ago as part of Deborah's former Children of the World program, a story which really touched Pat's heart and cemented her to Deborah for a long time. Pat's a personal friend, and when I asked her to MC our event this year, she immediately responded that she would and gladly accepted the invitation, which I was very happy. Please welcome a true Philadelphia TV legend, a good friend, and the MC of our 16th annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Art Competition, Pat Cherokee.
Hi, everybody. Hello and good afternoon, and what a thrill it is to be here for this 16th annual Deborah Heart Competition and the Heart Challenge and the Arts Competition. It's really great to be able to join both of those, because I think to be able to tap into a young person's mind so that they stay healthy, to be able to tap into their creativity so that they are able to express themselves. It's a wonderful way to be able to join both of these concepts into one competition. And we are very excited to be able to hear the answers, to see this competition play out in front of us. I was thrilled when Tom asked me, because whenever I think about Deborah, I think about the tremendous contribution that it makes to this community. But in particular, as Tom mentioned, I think about a little boy, and his name is Omar. Omar now lives in Canada. We've kind of lost track of Omar because of the circumstances that surrounded his life and his family's life coming from Baghdad. But I pray every day that Omar is well. And the only reason why Omar is well is because what was done in the operating room at Deborah Heart and Lung. So I guess as I stand here in front of you today, let's celebrate Omar. Let's celebrate the great work that Deborah does, and let's celebrate the great work of young people within our community, people who are going to be able to make great contributions to our community. Let's begin with a big round of applause for them in advance. So, if you're going to ask questions about the heart and about heart health, you have to have three really fine doctors asking the questions. And so I'd like to introduce our judges. Let's begin with Dr. Betsy Schlew. Dr. Schlew is chair of the Department of Pathology at Deborah Heart and Lung Center and director of the clinical laboratory there. She is board certified in clinical and anatomic pathology and has published and presented widely on various heart and lung disease topics. Dr. Schlew has been at Deborah since 1989 and is one of the initial Heart Challenge panelists from the very first event in 1998. Thank you, Dr. Schlew, for being here. Dr. Matt Samra is also with us today. Dr. Samra was traveling last year. We are really glad, though, that he is returning this year for his 5th year as one of our judges. Dr. Samra is triple board certified in general, vascular, and cardiothoracic surgery. He is director of Deborah's Vein Center and is proud to have worked at Deborah since 2004. His interests include venous disease, arterial disease, and aneurysms through a multi-dimensional approach. Last year, Dr. Samra was named one of the best physicians in South Jersey by South Jersey Magazine. We welcome you again, Dr. Samra. And our third judge is Dr. John Cooper. Dr. Cooper is an attending vascular surgeon at Deborah. He is returning for his 2nd year as one of our esteemed physician judges. Dr. Cooper is a South Jersey native. He is double board certified in general surgery and vascular surgery. Dr. Cooper has a special interest in teaching and has been lecturing about clinically integrated human anatomy at UMDNJ for 16 years. Dr. Cooper is currently director of the Vascular Surgery Fellowship Program at Deborah and also director of Deborah's new Center for Wound Healing and Hyperbarics. He specializes in endovascular surgery, venous disease, and complex lower extremity revascularization and wound care. And the word revascularization is probably going to be one of the questions. How do you spell that? Dr. Cooper, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Now, Dr. Schlew, if you would, explain the questions, how they are going to be presented, and how your decisions are going to be final.
Oops. Dr. Samra, Dr. Cooper, and I would like to welcome all 9 Heart Challenge student teams to today's event. They have proven themselves academically, these students, so they wouldn't have been here, and we have to offer them our true congratulations for representing their schools. As the designated HeartChallenge judging panel, Dr. Samara Cooper and I have carefully reviewed all of the questions for each round of today's event. There will be a number of rounds, and you'll see as we proceed how they go. We looked at the questions. This is the study guide. It is Holes, Human Anatomy and Physiology, 13th edition by McGraw-Hill Publishing, Education Publishing, my apologies, held up by my esteemed co-judge. We do want to say that our decisions are final. Sometimes we have to confer among ourselves, but our decision, as I said, will be final.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Schlew. So you can't do an event like this without having some really important people in the community giving their sponsorship. And I'd like to take this moment just to recognize the sponsors who are part of this great challenge today. We are really grateful to the sponsorship of McGraw-Hill Publishing, who donated those study guides. Also to major sponsors, Burlington County Times, who donated all of the plaques. The BCT has donated all plaques since we began this event. Liberty Bell Bank, you can look for student art projects on display in all 3 Liberty Bell Bank branches. The Lenape Regional High School District Activity Fund, the Pemberton Township High School Activity Fund, the Northern Burlington High School Parent-Teacher Student Connection, the Blue Spire Strategic Marketing, Pemberton Township Lions Club, AAA Mid-Atlantic, Boyd's Pharmacy in Pemberton Borough, the VFW Post 7677 in Medford, New Jersey, and Beneficial Bank. A big round of applause for all of their support for this day. Now I'd like to introduce again Tom Campbell, who is going to go over the rules of play. Tom.
Thank you, Pat. It's a 4-round competition. Round 1 is a rapid-fire buzzer round of 15 questions. The students can buzz in at any time during the questioning by the physician. The question stops when the buzzer sounds, and the student must give an answer immediately or within 10 seconds. And for round 1, there are no penalty points, and each correct answer is worth 5 points. Round 2 is an individual student round where each student will field 1 question from the judges, and the answers are meant to be short 1-word or 1-sentence answers, and there's no conferring. 15 points for a correct answer, and no penalty points for incorrect answers. Round 3, team question round. Each team will field 3 different questions from the judges. Each question from the judges will be increasing difficulty from question 1 to question 2 to question 3. 40 points for a correct answer, and no penalty points for incorrect answers. Round 4 is similar to round 1. It's a rapid-fire buzzer round. It's a 10-minute long round. As many questions as can be answered will be during that round. The difference from round 1 is that there are 25 points for a correct answer, and it's the only round where the teams are penalized for incorrect answers, 25-point penalty for each incorrect answer in round 4. And here's Pat again. Thank you.
Okay, now you're going to get an opportunity to see the young men and women who you so dearly love and who you are rooting for today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the teams who are competing today. We begin with Seneca High School and their advisor, Robert Kibler. Seneca, come on out. Northern Burlington Regional High School and their advisors, Angela Rapace and Victoria Paroli. Our next team, Moorestown Friends High School and their advisor, Drew Newman. Cherry Hill West High School and their advisor, Sandra Castellani. We are also delighted to be joined today by Cherokee High School and their advisors, Deidre Golden, who is an RN, who is a nurse, and Anili Martinez. Welcome, Cherokee. Then Pemberton Township High School. Pemberton's advisors are Al Atmore and Walt Stark. We also are joined today by Shawnee High School and advisor Kelly Eichman. Come on out. I'm sorry. What, did I say it wrong? Yeah. Okay. And now we're joined by Maple Shade High School and advisor Sue Von Leer. And Lenape High School and advisor Bridget Rubin. Now, we'd like to have an opportunity for the young people to introduce themselves so you know who they are. So let's begin with Northern Burlington. Go ahead, students, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Sanjana Satish, and I'm in 10th grade. Hi, I'm Neha Katavetti, and I'm in 10th grade.
Hi, I'm Nandini Rauchandra, I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Usha Madhukuru and I'm in 9th grade.
And I'm Vaishnavi Kundur, and I'm in 9th grade.
The Northern Burlington team, thank you very much. Seneca, introduce yourselves.
I'm Kevin Wojtowicz, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Brenna Atmore, and I'm in 12th grade. I'm Taryn Atmore, and I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Josh Geiser, and I'm in 10th grade.
Thank you, Seneca. Cherokee, good afternoon to you.
I'm Carrie St. Ange, and I'm a senior.
I'm Addie Wong, a freshman.
I'm Akash Parikh, I'm in 11th grade.
I'm Rebecca Peck, I'm a senior.
I'm Corey Donaldson, I'm a senior.
Also, Cherry Hill West is in the house.
Laura Giordano, 12th grade.
Christiana Ogunsami, 12th grade.
Daniel Jaffe, 11th grade.
Kieran Deep Kaur, 10th grade.
Miriam Rashid, I'm in 11th grade.
And now Moorestown Friends.
Anne-Marie Stockinger, 12th grade.
Brett Barbin, 11th grade.
Josh Murdy, 10th grade.
Edward Gallant, 10th grade.
Aaron Chen, 10th grade.
Next on my list is Maple Shade. Maple Shade, introduce yourselves.
Eddie Kadrick, senior.
Alex Lopez Valdivieso, senior.
Tiffany Hoffman, senior.
James David Cupsetta III, senior.
Brielle Geringer, senior.
Hi, Lenape, introduce yourselves.
Tara Liu, sophomore.
Pramod Kamalapathy, senior.
Anna Wexler, senior.
Tiffany Zai, senior.
Raheel Ahmad, senior.
Shawnee, introduce yourselves.
Nick Zelt, freshman.
Alexandra Kadatsky, junior.
Tingan Shao, senior.
Harrison Clement, sophomore.
Tom Tessitore, senior.
And then Pemberton. Pemberton, let's meet you.
Nahian, senior.
Shirley Teo, senior. Francesca Namugo, senior.
David Martinez, junior.
All right, there you have it. Our competitors today. Now, as you can see, there are a few of our students who are standing. They are alternates, and so at this point, alternates, if you would please leave the stage. Each team has just 4 members. Now, they did admit that they were a little nervous back in the meeting room. They shouldn't be nervous, though, should they? No, I don't think so either. And the 2 gentlemen who are not quite of student age are the monitors. Okay, now students, we also would like you to test your buzzers. Now you do know the rules about not hovering over over the buzzer itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the list of the schools again, just so you can test your buzzer, okay? So let's begin as we did with Northern Burlington. Can we hear your buzzer? Seneca. Cherokee. Cherry Hill West. Moorestown Friends. Maple Shade. Lenape. Shawnee. Pemberton. Okay, that sounds good. Thank you very much. Judges, are we ready? Docs, we ready? Okay, so we are going to begin with our first round, and it is called the Rapid Buzzer Round. So it is a 15-question round. The question will stop when the buzzer sounds. There is no penalty points for incorrect answers in this round. 5 points, though, for correct answers. And we want to remind our students to wait for me to identify the team before responding during this rapid fire round. And I think very shortly we will get the hang of it. Okay, let's begin. Dr. Samra, the first question.
Approximately what % of the U.S. population is
Lenape.
6%.
Go ahead.
Correct.
They memorized the book.
The rest of the question was what percentage U.S. Population is affected by mitral valve prolapse, for those keeping score.
Okay. Dr. Schlu.
In an average lifetime, how many times does a heart...
Lenape again.
2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
That is correct. And the question was, in an average lifetime, how many times does a heart contract?
All right, Dr. Cooper.
What nutrient, based on the amino acid type it provides, is labeled complete or incomplete?
Shawnee?
Protein?
That is correct.
Dr. Samra, your next question.
In a sentence, define cardiac output.
Lenape?
Cardiac output is the total amount of blood that the heart is putting out in, so it's equal to the number of beats per minute times the milliliters per beat that the heart pumps.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlu, the next question, please.
Name one of two causes of aplastic anemia.
Lenape.
Aplastic anemia can be caused by toxins or radiation.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper?
A normal sample of blood contains what numerical range of white blood cells?
Lenape.
4,500 to 10,000 cells per microliter.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
Name the part of the heart called the pacemaker.
Shawnee.
The sinoatrial node?
Correct.
Dr. Schlew.
Name the lipoprotein which has a high concentration.
Lenape.
The lipoprotein with a high concentration of triglyceride is the very low density lipoprotein. The one with high cholesterol is the low density, and the one with high protein ratio is the high density lipoprotein.
Okay, that is correct. Let me just say what the question was. Name the lipoprotein which is a high concentration of cholesterol and is the major cholesterol-carrying lipoprotein. And you did give that answer of the low-density lipoprotein, or LDL. So that was correct.
Dr. Cooper.
Give one function of the sinuses located.
Shawnee.
The sinuses in the heart are where the coronary sinus is where the right atrium receives blood from the veins, deoxygenated blood.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The question was, give one function of the sinuses located in the skull. The answer would be they reduce the weight of the skull, or they serve as a resonant chamber that affects the quality of a voice.
Dr. Samra.
Give two risk factors for developing atherosclerosis.
Lenape.
Not enough exercise or a diet with a lot of fat.
That's correct. Other factors include hypertension, smoking, and genetics.
Dr. Schlew.
Name the second leading cause in the United States of preventable death.
Shawnee.
Obesity.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
Every year in the United States, an estimated 2,000 infants die from exposure to environmental tobacco smoke or secondhand smoke, and thousands of young children suffer its effects. Give one example of secondhand smoke's damaging effects to young children.
Lenape.
Secondhand smoke can lead to bronchitis.
That is correct. Other things would be pneumonia, worsening asthma, and ear infections.
Dr. Samra.
Give the cause of pernicious anemia.
Lenape.
Pernicious anemia is caused by a lack of B12, vitamin B12.
Correct. That is correct.
Dr. Schlew.
People with mitral valve prolapse are particularly susceptible.
Lenape.
Particularly susceptible to endocarditis.
That is correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Dr. Cooper.
Name the condition caused by a deficiency of vitamin K.
Pemberton.
Arteriosclerosis?
Sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is a prolonged clotting time.
Okay, that's our 15, yes? Okay. Are you feeling any more relaxed? I think you might right after this break. We will have more of our competition, our 16th Annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Art Competition when we come back.
If you, like millions of people, have any kind of vascular disease, Deborah Heart and Lung Center can help. Leg pain can be caused by blockages in the arteries. Aneurysms in the aorta can bulge and even burst, while blockages in the carotid arteries could cause a stroke. Deborah is people who truly care about you, treating all forms of vascular disease with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Deborah, the heart of healthcare.
Cherokee, and welcome back to this Heart Challenge and Art Competition, the 16th Annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Arts Competition. And surrounding me are maybe future Picassos. These are some of our winners, our honorable mentions, and our third place winners. We'd like to recognize them. Let's begin with an honorable mention for a 2D presentation, Complicated, by Heidi Chung, an 11th grader at Shawnee High School. Congratulations, Heidi. An honorable mention for a 3D presentation, Anatomy of Inamorata and Inamorata by Kaylee Lal, a 12th grader at Cherokee. Congratulations. Heartstrings by Charles Rich, a 10th grader at Shawnee, is an honorable mention in 3D. A third place winner in 2D is Sweet Tooth by Jessica Judy, a 12th grader at Pemberton High School. Hi. A third place winner in 2D, Fragile by Rebecca Bernard, an 11th grader at Lenape High School. Congratulations, Rebecca. And then we have our third place 3D, Pieces of a Broken Heart by Savannah Borden, an 11th grader at Northern Burlington Regional High School. Got it? Let me see. What did I miss? Oh. Okay, well, that's actually the wrong one. That's okay. All right. And what's your name?
Carl Straw.
Carl Straw. Okay, I know. Carl Straw is one of our winners. Wait a minute. Let me just run through my list really quickly here. There he is. An honorable mention 2D, Entangled Love by Carl Straw, an 11th grader at Seneca. Carl, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. You can go back to your seats. We really appreciate it. All right. Doctors, are you ready for the next round? We're ready. All right. Students, are you ready for the next round? Okay. So, our round 2 of this competition. Each student on stage will get one question. They will have 10 seconds to initiate a response, and 15 points for a correct answer. In this round, there are no penalty points. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there is no conferring. So we begin. Student number 1 from Northern Burlington, we have a question from Dr. Samra.
Name the blood vessel which is smallest in diameter.
Time?
No guesses. I'm sorry, that's no answer, right? That's incorrect. The name of the blood vessel, which is smallest in diameter, is called a capillary.
And students, we want to remind you that if you do not know the answer, or if you do not know the answer, please say pass. But if you do, give it a good shot. Student 1 from Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
All universal donors have what blood type?
O.
That is correct.
Student one from Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
Name a factor which increases heart rate and blood pressure.
"10 seconds, please respond."
Pass.
The correct answer is physical exercise or emotional responses such as anger, fear.
Student number 1 from Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
The heart pumps an average of how many liters of blood through the body each day?
Five liters?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is actually 7,000 liters.
Student number 1 from Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlu.
Name the first leukocyte to arrive at an infection site.
Lymphocyte?
That is incorrect. It's the neutrophil.
Student 1 from Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
The internal carotid artery provides major blood supply to which organ?
The internal carotid artery provides blood to the brain.
That is correct.
Student 1 from Lenape for Dr. Samra.
Appendicitis or other acute infections cause a rise in the number of circulating white blood cells. What is this condition called?
Can you repeat the question?
Appendicitis or other acute infections cause a rise in the number of circulating white blood cells. Sorry. What is this condition called?
Leukocytosis?
That is correct.
Student 1 from Shawnee for Dr. Schlu.
How many types of white cells are normally found in circulating blood?
3.
That is incorrect. 5.
Student 1 from Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
Leukopenia, a low white cell count, may accompany many conditions. Name one of the conditions.
Typhoid fever?
That is correct.
Now for student 2, Northern Burlington for Dr. Samra.
Name the major factor that helps maintain a healthy, young vascular system with lowered risk of heart disease.
Time, please respond.
Physical exercise.
That is correct.
Student number 2 for Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
Name the tube-like respiratory structure extending downward in front of the esophagus into the thoracic cavity.
The trachea?
That is correct.
Student 2 from Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
1 pound of fat contains how many calories of energy?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
1 pound of fat contains how many calories of energy?
Pass.
3,500 calories.
Student 2 from Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
Name the first leukocyte to arrive at an infection site.
Lymphocyte.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
A lymphocyte.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is a neutrophil.
Student number 2 from Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlu.
Vitamin A plays an important role for what function?
Blood clotting?
That is incorrect. Vision.
Student number 2 from Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
The size of people's hearts vary based on what important factor?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The size of people's hearts vary based on what important factor?
One more time. I'm missing like the second word. I'm sorry.
The size of a person's heart varies based on what important factor?
Their body weight and height.
Body size, correct. That is correct.
Student number 2 from Lenape for Dr. Samra.
Bleeding gums and other symptoms of scurvy are caused by a deficiency of what vitamin?
Vitamin C.
That is correct.
Student number 2 from Shawnee for Dr. Schlu.
What blood type lacks antigens A and B?
Type O.
That is correct.
Student number 2 from Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
Name a food source of vitamin K.
Egg yolk.
That is correct. Other sources would be leafy green vegetables, pork liver, soy oil, tomatoes, and cauliflower.
All right, student 3 from Northern Burlington for Dr. Samra.
A deficiency of red blood cells results in what condition?
Ten seconds, please respond.
Pass.
The correct answer is anemia.
Student number 3 from Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
Name a food source of saturated fats.
Meats.
That is correct. Additional food sources are milk, eggs, lard, palm, and coconut oils.
Student number 3 from Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
The heart is divided into how many chambers?
Four chambers.
That is correct.
Student number 3 from Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra, please.
Throughout life, where are almost all red blood cells produced?
Red bone marrow.
That is correct.
Student number 3 from Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlu.
Name one food source of a simple carbohydrate.
Sugar.
That is correct. The sugars can come from milk, beet, cane, molasses, honey, and then fruits have their sugars.
Student number 3 from Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
Whole blood is slightly heavier and 3 to 4 times more viscous than what other body fluid?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Whole blood is slightly heavier and 3 to 4 times more viscous than what other body fluid?
Ten seconds, please respond.
Plasma.
The correct answer is water.
Student number 3 from Lenape for Dr. Samra.
What's the average lifespan of a red blood cell?
The average lifespan of a red blood cell is 120 days.
That is correct.
Student number 3 from Shawnee for Dr. Schlu.
What nutrient provides the primary source of fuel for cellular processes?
Glucose. Carbohydrates.
That is correct.
Student number 3 from Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
Name the main arteries supplying blood to the heart.
The coronary artery.
That is correct.
Now for our number 4 students. Student number 4 from Northern Burlington for Dr. Samra.
What protein in the red blood cell is responsible for the color of blood?
Hemoglobin.
Correct.
Student number 4 from Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
Name the percent in a typical blood sample of the mixture called plasma.
80%?
That is incorrect. It's about 55%.
Student number 4 from Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
Name the organ that rests on the diaphragm.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Name the organ that rests on the diaphragm.
The heart.
That is correct.
Student number 4 from Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
Name the cavity where the lungs are located.
The thoracic cavity.
Nice job, that's correct.
Student number 4 from Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlu.
There are about how many liters of blood in the average sized adult?
5 liters.
That is correct.
Student number 4 from Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
What serious respiratory condition can be caused by either a virus or a bacteria?
That would be pneumonia.
That is correct.
Student number 4 from Lenape for Dr. Samra.
Name the largest diameter artery in the body.
The aorta.
Correct.
Student number 4 from Shawnee for Dr. Schlu.
Bronchial asthma is usually what type reaction to foreign antigens in the airways?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Bronchial asthma is usually what type of reaction to foreign antigens in the airways?
Time, please respond.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's an allergic reaction.
And student number 4 from Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
What percent of body weight is blood volume in the average adult?
%.
That is incorrect. 8% is the correct answer.
And that concludes our second round. I think they did a really great job. We're going to have more about our Heart Challenge and arts competition right after this.
If you, like millions of people, have any kind of vascular disease, Deborah Heart and Lung Center can help. Leg pain can be caused by blockages in the arteries. Aneurysms in the aorta can bulge and even burst. while blockages in the carotid arteries could cause a stroke. Deborah is people who truly care about you, treating all forms of vascular disease with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Deborah, the heart of healthcare.
Welcome back, everyone. What an exciting afternoon this is with listening to our students who are answering questions and then also honoring our wonderful art students as well. So we're really delighted to introduce you to our second place winners. It's my pleasure to honor the second place in the 2D competition. The piece is called Polished Heart by Allison Page, a 12th grader at Shawnee. Congratulations. Also, a second place in the 3D competition, The Heartbeat of the City, Nisa Serrano, a 12th grader at Pemberton. Congratulations. And then also, second place for 3D, Layers of Love by Colleen Schaefer, a 12th grader at Maple Shade. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We're going to, ladies, you can go ahead and rejoin the audience. I'd like to honor a number of people who have really provided great sponsorship for this event. And I think we'll go down the list, and then they really deserve a giant round of applause before we move into our next round of competition. So once again, a giant thank you for our sponsors. The presenting sponsor, McGraw-Hill Publishing. And then Burlington County Times, Liberty Bell Bank, Lenape Regional High School District Activity Fund, the Pemberton Township High School Activity Fund, the Northern Burlington High School Parent-Teacher Student Connection, and we have Blue Spire Strategic Marketing, the Pemberton Township Lions Club, the AAA Mid-Atlantic, Boyd's Pharmacy in Pemberton Borough. I think I went past that as I was driving here. The VFW Post 7677 from Medford, and Beneficial Bank. A big round of applause for our sponsors. None of this is possible without their generous support. So here we are already, students. We're at round 3. So we have 3 questions that each team will have the opportunity to answer. Now, just so that we can review this for our audience at home and for everyone who is here in our audience. In this round, conferring is allowed. 30 seconds to confer. Questions are going to be on the big screen above the stage. You will receive 40 points for the correct answer. No penalty points for an incorrect answer. Each team fields 3 questions total. So we're going to start again as we have with the other 2 rounds. Let's begin with Northern Burlington. Dr. Samra.
The left and right lungs are not identical. Compare the lungs, giving the 2 major anatomical differences between them.
Time.
First of all, the left lung is smaller than the right lung. And the lobar branches on the left lung, there's 2 of them. And on the right side, there's 3.
That's acceptable. It's correct.
Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
Okay, this has 2 parts, this question. Describe the term cardiac ischemia. That's number 1. Number 2 is name the resulting condition.
Cardiac ischemia is a lack of blood to the heart tissue and it results in heart failure.
That is incorrect. You're partially correct in that it's a thrombus or embolus that partially blocks blood flow to a coronary artery, but it results in angina pectoris.
Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
This is a two-part question. Name the protein which stimulates large megakaryocyte cells to proliferate, and 2, describe the role of these larger cells.
Time, please respond.
The protein is, I believe, erythropoietin, but the megakaryocyte makes the platelets.
I'm sorry, that's only partially correct. So that overall is incorrect. The protein that stimulates large megakaryocyte cells is thrombopoietin, and the megakaryocyte eventually separates to form platelets.
Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
The nutrient protein is used in a number of ways by the body. Give me 2 of their functions.
Time, please respond.
The 2 functions are for structure and growth.
Can you expand on that? Try to be more specific.
So like structure of the amino acids provide structure for muscles, and so does growth does, I think, the same thing.
I'm sorry, I have to call that incorrect. I asked for 2 specific 2 specific ways. So, you know, you were right in that structure as far as amino acids. But also it's all used in the transport of oxygen, regulation of water balance, control of pH, formation of antibodies. The amino acids may also be broken down and oxidized for energy or converted to fats or carbs for storage. So,
Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlew.
Okay, 2-part question. 1 is name the source of hematopoietic stem cells, and the second part is state which cells originate from them.
Red bone marrow and erythrocytes.
That is correct.
And now Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
2 parts. Give one of the 2 measurable factors that diagnose an individual as obese, and 2, list 2 health risks from being obese.
Time, please respond.
The measurable factors that diagnose an individual as obese are weight and height, and two health risks of being obese are atherosclerosis, diabetes, heart failure, etc.
All right. Can you be a little bit more specific as far as the measurable factor for obesity to diagnose obesity?
The measurable factors would be their weight compared to their body size. So a person who is 6 foot and is 180 pounds would be 170, sorry, not 180, would be normal, considered slim, and somebody who is 5 foot and is the same weight could be considered obese.
That is incorrect for the answer we are looking for. 20% or more over the ideal weight, or a body mass index over 30, which can lead to heart disease, kidney failure, risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, stroke, degenerative disc disease.
Lenape now for Dr. Samra.
In order, name the 3 steps of hemostasis.
The 3 steps of hemostasis in order are vasospasm or vasoconstriction, and then platelet plug formation, and then coagulation.
That's correct.
Shawnee for Dr. Schlew.
Name 2 of the 3 factors which cause variations in blood volume.
Time, please respond.
Severe or massive blood loss and a higher heart rate.
Can you repeat your answer? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Higher heart rate.
That is partially correct. Changes in fluid and electrolyte concentrations, which is your blood loss. The other 2 are body size and the amount of adipose tissue.
Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
Describe what a bronchoscopy procedure examines and give 1 reason for its use.
A bronchoscopy examines the trachea and bronchioles, and it can look for a tumor.
That is correct.
Now we move on to the second team question. Northern Burlington for Dr. Samra.
The nasal cavity performs a number of functions. Give its location and describe 3 of the functions.
The nasal cavity is located in the front of the head, and one of the functions is the hairs keep large particles out of the respiratory system. The mucus gathers the dust, and the cilia hairs push it to the pharynx, which then it goes to the stomach, and the gastric juices destroy the pathogens and bacteria.
That's correct.
Seneca for Dr. Schlew.
Okay, this question has two parts. The red blood cell's distinctive shape is an adaptation for what function? That's part one. Part two, give the purpose for this function.
Time, please respond.
The red blood cell's biconcave disc shape is to increase surface area so it can carry more oxygen.
It's a two-part question. I need a second.
So it can carry more oxygens to the cells and tissues.
That is incorrect. You gave the answer for the first part of the question, which it's an adaptation for the function of transporting gases. That's why it has that distinctive shape. But the shape increases the surface area through which gases can diffuse. That's the answer to the second part. Okay.
Cherokee for Dr. Cooper.
Briefly describe the systemic circuit in the cardiovascular system.
The purpose of the systemic circuit is to transport oxygen, nutrients, and blood throughout the entire body.
I'm sorry, can you elaborate on that, please?
The oxygen transport throughout the body to the heart and the other organs and then back.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The systemic circuit transfers freshly oxygenated blood from the left atrium through the left ventricle through the systemic circuit of the aorta and its branches, and then returns back to the lungs through the veins into the right atrium.
Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
Two-part question. Number one, describe two functions of vitamin B12. And the second, give me two food sources.
Time, please respond.
The function of B12 is for red blood cell formation, right? And DNA replication, and two food sources are red meat and like vegetables, I guess. I don't know.
What was the second part of the second question?
Red meat and vegetables.
No, I'm sorry, it's incorrect. So you got the first part right. It was it's essential for functions of all cells. So it's as you mentioned, it's needed for synthesis of nucleic acids, needed for metabolism of carbohydrates and fats. It's important for erythrocyte production. You got that, and helps form myelin in the CNS. But it usually comes in foods of animal origin. So liver, meats, milk, cheese, eggs, etc.
Moorestown Friends now for Dr. Schlew.
All right, two-part question. Give 2 recommendations that can prevent transmission of infectious diseases within a healthcare setting. And the second part is 1 example for each.
Sanitation, so an example for that would be washing your hands before coming in contact with patients or before patients come into contact with other patients. And then also avoiding direct contact, so that would be wearing a mask and wearing gloves when coming into contact with patients, and also avoiding patients touching each other.
That is correct.
Maple Shade for Dr. Cooper.
2 parts. Describe the condition and effect of pericarditis, and 2, give its cause.
Pericarditis is the inflammation of the pericardium, and a cause could be too much buildup of fluid in the pericardium, creating pressure, virus, or bacterial infection.
That is correct.
Lenape for Dr. Samra.
Another 2-part question. Number 1, define the term alveoli, and number 2, describe their role in respiration.
The alveoli are air sacs in the lungs, and they exchange gases with the capillaries, the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide.
That works. It's correct.
Shawnee for Dr. Schlew.
Describe the liver's 2 responses for controlling total cholesterol levels in the body.
The liver increases HDLs and decreases LDLs.
That is incorrect. The liver synthesizes cholesterol and releases it into the bloodstream. It can also remove cholesterol from the blood and excrete it in the bile.
And now Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
2 parts. Name the 3 types of granulocytes, and 2, give their common average lifespan.
You have your neutrophils, and they last about 12 hours. Your eosinophils last a week, and your basophils last about a week.
That answer is correct.
All right, now we have our third question for our teams. So let's begin again with Northern Burlington for Dr. Samra.
The condition sickle cell anemia causes normal hemoglobin to be affected. So two-part question. Number 1, describe the damaged hemoglobin's effect on the red blood cell. And number 2, describe 2 damaging effects these red blood cells have on the body.
The damaged hemoglobin's effect on red blood cells is it causes it to be sickle-shaped, and the 2 damaging effects is the sickle-shaped cell can get stuck in narrow capillaries, and it causes the red blood cell to carry less oxygen.
That's correct.
Seneca for Dr. Schlu.
2-part question. Name the 3 walls of the heart and briefly give their functions.
The endocardium is the inner wall of the heart, and that lines the valves and blood vessels. The myocardium is the muscular component of the heart, and that's what actually contracts. And the pericardium is the outer layer of the heart, and that protects the heart.
I'm sorry, you're only partially correct. The 3rd one is the epicardium, which protects the heart. And then you got the myocardium correct and the endocardium correct.
Cherokee now for Dr. Cooper.
2 parts. Define the term compliance related to respiration and give 2 reasons compliance can be affected.
Compliance is the ability of the lungs to exchange oxygen, and it can be affected by disease and physical exertion.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Compliance is the ease with which lung expands as a result of pressure changes during breathing. Compliance is affected or decreased by conditions that obstruct air passages, destroy lung tissue, or impede lung expansion.
Cherry Hill, pardon me, Cherry Hill West for Dr. Samra.
3-part question. Number 1, tell where the larynx is located. Number 2, what is it composed of? And number 3, list 2 of its functions.
Time, please respond.
The larynx is underneath the trachea. It's composed of cartilage, and its 2 functions is it keeps foreign foreign like substances from going down into the lungs or the thoracic cavity, and it's also the voice box.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to call that incorrect. You said it's below the trachea. It's actually above the trachea.
Moorestown Friends for Dr. Schlu.
2-part question. Describe the makeup of the skeleton of the heart and tell its function.
Time, please respond.
Okay, the skeleton of the heart is the pericardium, and it protects the heart, and it also helps keep it in place.
That is incorrect. The skeleton of the heart is rings of dense connective tissue that surround the pulmonary trunk and aorta at their proximal ends. And these rings provide firm attachment for the heart valves and muscle fibers.
Maple Shade now for Dr. Cooper.
This is 2 parts. Give 2 properties of plasma, and 2, name 2 of its functions.
Time, please respond.
2 properties of plasma are the, like albumin, the plasma proteins, and water that constitutes 92% of it. 2 functions are to allow, are to control osmotic pressure, are also to allow the formed cell components to, like the red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets to travel throughout the body.
Can you name 2 of the functions again?
To allow, or to carry like red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets throughout the body to their necessary places. and it holds the plasma proteins which help with osmotic pressure and blood pressure.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Plasma is the clear, straw-colored liquid part of blood in which cells and platelets are suspended. Approximately 92% water, contains complex mixture of organic and inorganic biochemicals. 2, it transports nutrients, vitamins, and gases, helps regulate fluid and electrolyte balance, and maintains a favorable pH.
Lenape for Dr. Samra.
3-part question. Number 1, describe the aortic valve structure. Number 2, tell its function. And number 3, give me the location.
The aortic valve is a semilunar valve with 3 cusps that it's at the root of the aorta, and it prevents blood from regurgitating backwards from the aorta into the left ventricle.
That works. That's correct.
And now Shawnee for Dr. Schlu.
Explain the role of the diaphragm in inspiration and expiration.
Time, please respond.
The diaphragm expands during inspiration, causing an increase in pressure of the lungs, causing the air to leave the body, actually expiration, I'm sorry. And in inspiration, it contracts or gets goes down and decreases pressure in the lungs, which causes the atmospheric pressure to be higher than it, and then bring in the air.
That's correct.
And now Pemberton for Dr. Cooper.
2 parts. Describe the progression of the respiratory disease emphysema, and 2, name its 2 major causes.
Emphysema can be, it's when the alveoli sacs merge together or they're destroyed and damaged. And its 2 major causes can be smoking or chronic bronchitis.
I'm sorry, what was the second?
Chronic bronchitis.
Can you expand on the second part, please?
Because of the mucus buildup, the alveoli are damaged. And the inflamed bronchioles can lead to more damaged alveoli.
I'm sorry, the question's incorrect. Emphysema is a progressive degenerative disease that destroys the alveolar walls, reducing the volume of gas that can be exchanged across the walls. Two of the major causes would be smoking and exposure to respiratory irritants.
All right, that wraps this round. A round of applause. These were really hard questions. Students, you did just an amazing, amazing job. And when we come back with our broadcast, we're going to announce the first place art winners, and we also have more questions for our students in a final round as we continue the 16th annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Art Competition.
If you, like millions of people, have any kind of vascular disease, Deborah Heart and Lung Center can help. Leg pain can be caused by blockages in the arteries. Aneurysms in the aorta can bulge and even burst, while blockages in the carotid arteries could cause a stroke. Deborah is people who truly care about you, treating all forms of vascular disease with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Deborah, the heart of healthcare.
Welcome back, everyone. We are coming down to the home stretch. We want to introduce you to our first place art winners, and we actually have a new category this year, and that category is the first Deborah computerized art t-shirt design contest. And this young lady here is our winner, Samantha McGonigal, a 10th grader at Cherry Hill High School West. Nice to have you. Congratulations. And then for our other first place winners, we're going to begin on the end with our gentleman, our first place in 2D, Reach by Gregory Case, a 12th grader at Maple Shade. First place in 2D, External Peace by Victoria Conklin, a 10th grader at Pemberton. Congratulations. And then our first place in 3D, Guarded by Amber Gibb, an 11th grader at Pemberton. Congratulations, Amber. And then again, a first place 3D, Marbled Love by Melania Puglisi, a 10th grader at Pemberton. Congratulations, and also congratulations to all of your art advisors as well. We are so delighted that you were able to compete this year. Thanks so much. You can go back and take your seats in the audience. Students, we have to see, are you ready for round 4? All right. Judges, are you ready for round 4? All right, the doctors are all set. Audience, don't you think these questions are really difficult? Yes, I know. I think so too. That's what I told them. All right. So here we go. This is the last round, students. A 10-minute rapid-fire round. It will last just 10 minutes. Let me review this for our audience who's watching this. This is going to be identical to round 1, except that the correct answers will earn the student team 25 points. There will be a 25-point penalty for incorrect answers. There is no conferring. The question stops when the buzzer sounds. The answer is required in 10 seconds. And again, students, I ask you to please wait until I recognize you before answering the question. Everybody ready? All right, Dr. Samra, we begin with you.
In a sentence, define universal precautions.
Lenape.
Universal precautions are the precautions that people who deal with patients who are sick need to take in order to spread infection.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlew.
In a sentence, what does the liver use cholesterol for?
Lenape.
The liver uses the cholesterol to make bile salts.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
Describe the size in centimeters of the average adult heart.
Lenape.
It's 9 centimeters wide and 14 centimeters long.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
Most blood samples are about what percent white blood cells?
Shawnee.
Less than 1%.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlew.
What respiratory condition is characterized by a patient's breathing stopping for 10 to 20 seconds?
Maple Shade.
That is apnea, sleep apnea.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
What are the 3 macronutrients?
Lenape.
Proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
What is the numerical range of terminal bronchi which occupy a lobule of the lung?
Cherry Hill.
50 to 80.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlu.
Give the estimated percent range of new infections worldwide transmitted by unsafe injections.
Moorestown.
10 to 20%.
That is incorrect. 4 to 7%.
Dr. Cooper.
In one sentence, define respiration.
Maple Shade.
Respiration, well, there's 2 different kinds. There's cell respiration, which is how your body makes oxygen or energy from oxygen. And respiration is in breathing, like inspiration, expiration, how you get oxygen, like inspired.
All right, that is correct.
Dr. Samra.
What is the appearance of a person who has the condition cyanosis?
Pemberton.
They look blue.
Correct.
Dr. Schlu.
Describe the location to sense or listen to the apical heartbeat.
Pemberton.
The apex of the heart, or the 5th and 6th ribs.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper. Dr. Cooper.
Give one symptom caused by prolonged excess vitamin D.
Lenape.
Calcification of soft tissue.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
In a sentence, describe the process of diffusion in capillaries.
Lenape.
In the capillaries, diffusion is when nutrients or gases are exchanged between the blood, and the tissues with the cells in them, and it's from high concentrations to low concentrations.
That's correct.
Dr. Schlu.
The trace element iron plays an important part in what step of red blood cell production?
Lenape.
Making the hemoglobin protein.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
The seriousness of a heart murmur is indicated by what factor?
Lenape.
Heart murmur is when it's not closed tight enough, so there's backflow into if it's like a heart. So there could be backflow into the atriums or the ventricles, and so the sound of the lub-dub sound is, you can notice a murmur in there.
That is incorrect. The question was the seriousness of a heart murmur is indicated by which factor? The answer is the degree of valvular damage.
Dr. Samra.
Describe in a sentence the respiratory phase, vital capacity.
Shawnee.
The amount of air that can be exerted after taking the largest breath possible.
Correct.
Dr. Schlu.
Name the 2 most abundant electrolytes in plasma.
Lenape.
Sodium and chloride.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
Name the source of the spread of infection in the outbreak of the Marburg virus in Angola during 2005.
Lenape.
The spread of blood and medical equipment.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
In a sentence, what is meant by diastolic pressure?
Lenape.
Diastolic pressure is the pressure when the ventricles are relaxed and not contracting.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlu.
In a typical adult's blood, what is the percent range of neutrophils?
Shawnee.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 58 to 66.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper, the next question.
Name the most common dietary lipid.
Shawnee.
Triglycerides.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
Name the two major venous pathways which lead into the right atrium.
Lenape.
The superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava are the two major pathways that lead to the right atrium.
Correct.
Dr. Schlu.
In the span of a red blood cell, it travels throughout the body approximately how many?
Lenape.
75,000.
That is correct.
Dr. Cooper.
State a property of the respiratory term residual volume.
Shawnee.
The amount of air left inside the lungs after expiration.
That is correct.
Dr. Samra.
Give the average range of red blood cells in a microliter in an adult female.
Lenape.
It's going to be 4.2 million to 5.4 million blood cells.
That is correct.
Dr. Schlu.
In a sentence, describe the function of precapillary sphincters.
Lenape.
Precapillary sphincters help regulate blood flow to certain areas of the body. So, for example, if you just ate a meal and then you exercise, the precapillary sphincters would close off to the digestive portion of the body, and so blood would go to the skeletal muscles.
10 minutes.
That is
Round
correct.
4 has ended.
Yes, we're correct. Dr. Cooper. Is that it? Is that time? All right, that's time. Are you breathing? Barely. How about the audience? Are you breathing? Barely, yes. A big round of applause for our young people. We're going to have more of our Heart Challenge when we come back.
If you, like millions of people, have any kind of vascular disease, Deborah Heart and Lung Center can help. Leg pain can be caused by blockages in the arteries. Aneurysms in the aorta can bulge and even burst, while blockages in the carotid arteries could cause a stroke. Deborah is people who truly care about you, treating all forms of vascular disease with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Deborah, the heart of healthcare.
Back with us this competition today, both with our questions about the heart and also our great arts competition, just shows you how really smart and how really talented our young people are here in South Jersey. And so I am just delighted to introduce the best of show in 2D, and that winner is this young lady next to me, Anna Cryer, a 12th grader at Lenape High School, for her piece, Cool Girls Don't Break Hearts. A big round of applause. Congratulations. And then we also would like to recognize the best in show for 3D, and that is Abby Meyer, a 10th grader at Shawnee High School, for her piece that is known as Heart Song. So a big round of applause for her great work, and also for the really wonderful advisors who have helped our young people. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you a wonderful student performer who is going to present some wonderful selections for us. And this just gives us a little bit of time so our scorekeepers can double check all the mathematics that they have been going through for the last couple of hours. I'd like to ask you to give us a real warm welcome to Matthew Lauday, a guitar vocalist from Pemberton Township High School, and he is going to entertain us. Matt, take it away.
Lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Yes, you're lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose, it touches my foolish heart. Lovely, with each smile so warm, and your cheeks so soft, there is nothing for me but to love you just the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose, it touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
Have worked so hard, they have studied so hard. You know, it's just even hard to even understand how they could understand all that they had to study. My goodness. But they have just done a tremendous job at this 16th annual Deborah Heart Challenge and Arts Competition. So congratulations, students. You've just done a terrific, terrific job. And if any of you decide to go into medicine, we know that we are really in good shape with all of you taking good care of all of us. So it's my pleasure now to recognize the honorable mention teams. Our first honorable mention goes to Cherokee. Our next honorable mention is Seneca. Come on down and line up. What a great job you all did. Our next honorable mention Seneca has to carefully work their way down from the top ramp. Great job, Seneca. Really great job. Our next honorable mention goes to Cherry Hill West. We're so happy to have you with us this year, Cherry Hill. Thanks so much for being here and for working so hard to prepare for all of this. Go ahead, alternate, go out there. Our next honorable mention is Moorestown Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations for your participation today. And our next honorable mention is from Maple Shade. I think before we name our top 4 winners, judges, we want to thank you once again. Just what a great job you have done. Thanks for devoting so much time and energy. Also, a very special thank you to our whole team here, starting with Tom from Deborah and our team here at Pemberton, and for Mike Pinto, our Director of Media Services here at Pemberton Township School District, and his crew. Thank you all so much for doing such a great job to make this all possible. Okay, here we go. Our 4th place winner today, Northern Burlington. Congratulations, Northern Burlington. Great job, great work. Our 3rd place winner this year for our 16th annual is Pemberton. Great job, Pemberton, on home turf. Our 2nd place winner, Shawnee. Congratulations for a job well done. And then our champion this year for the 16th annual Deborah HeartChallenge and Art Competition, Lenape. Lenape, a really remarkable job, really great study, really great presentation. We congratulate you. In fact, we congratulate all of our students for the really, really fine work they have done this year and their generous participation in the 16th annual Deborah HeartChallenge and Art Competition. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, and that concludes our program.